There we go. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I'm excited to be here again on this Tuesday morning to share some tips. And today's focus is going to be, or the tips I'm going to share are going to be on some follow-up tips that you need to be thinking about that they're so simple and yet they have a lasting effect when it comes to your referral marketing strategy. But before we get to that, I want to say hey to everyone that's jumping on. So if you're jumping on, make sure and shout out, tell us who you are, go ahead and introduce your business. And of course, we want to hear celebrations. So if you've accomplished something this week, maybe you've have a new referral partner you've been meeting with, you've accomplished a strategy session, you went to a strategy session, you learned something about that other person that you feel now will allow you to help be a part of their success story. Or maybe the referral has come back your way. If you've received a referral this week, instead of let's do a shout out, but how about do a shout out to the person who referred you? Go ahead and do that. And I'll get started. I want to do a great big thank you to Maria Kelly. She has been a tremendous referral generator for Inspired for several years now. We had the opportunity to, she was actually a referral to me a couple of years ago, and we're actually coming up on 2 years knowing each other. I always mark it around the Christmas holidays because that's when she and I met, and she has been a longtime client of ours, but she's also been a referral generator for us also. And just last night, I received a message from someone who was told, recommended, our product or services were recommended to him. And of course, he made sure to let us know that it was Maria Kelly who told him about us. So we want to say a great big thank you to Maria for always being out there and listening for our trigger words and our opportunities. So want to say thank you for that. And so if you've had the opportunity to refer someone, or you have received a referral, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's gone to close business. Remember, it's not about the conversion rate when it comes to thanking someone for a referral. It's about acknowledging that someone took an action step on your behalf, or you took an action step on the behalf of someone, and you actually made a recommendation or introduction. And that's the biggest difference between a referral and a lead, okay? So a lead, always tell everyone, is when that prospect, the first time they ever learn about you is from you, then I say you're in Leadsville, okay? But when it comes to referrals, the first time a prospect hears about you is from a referral generator, from a family, a friend, a colleague, another industry collaborator, a power partner, and they have actually taken that time to make that recommendation. They have recommended you, they've recommended your product or service, and therefore the first time they're actually hearing about you is from someone else. Now you begin the process of being a part of the referral zone. And, there's multiple levels there. And of course, there's multiple outcomes. But what we want to talk about is just that opportunity. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Julia. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, share those opportunities out there with all of us. Take the time. If you're jumping on here on Tuesdays, go ahead and do a shout out. Say, who you are, what your company is. Remember, we try to stay away from selling to one another here at Inspired. What we want to do is educate people more about our who and then how. Who it is that we would love to have across the desk from us, who it is that we would love to have as a client, what that ideal client for us looks like. And then, of course, we always want to be educating how you could properly recommend or introduce me. So that's one of the things that we're really encouraging here as we're jumping on here on Tuesdays. I'm always going to share a tip but it's about making connections with one another. So if you're watching this Facebook Live, we're streaming to a lot of different channels right now. So some of you are in our private group on Inspired Nation, and there, if you're watching us in that group, then I'm going to do a call to action for you guys very specifically to our Inspired Nation members, and that's for you guys to make a connection with someone in the group. So go out there this week and, tell everyone about your target market. Tell everyone who it is that you would like to do strategy sessions with, what industries you would like to connect with. If you're one of our Excel or Elite members, you may be watching this inside of our Inspired Connect private group. And so my call to action challenge for all of you is to turn that Facebook Live on and come into the group and go ahead and do your 10 steps to success, video to educate all of your referral partners in that group how they can help you this week. Be very specific to the holidays. What is one way that during the next few weeks as we're gathering together and we're networking with one another, how can I listen for an opportunity for you? Now, remember to always be careful. If you're on the introductory side of a referral generation relationship where you're just beginning to get to know someone, take the time to educate yourself. Take the time to train others on what a great referral. A referral without credibility, unfortunately, can go the wrong way. And so it's not just about generating opportunities for one another. It's about being confident that the referral you're going to, the person you're going to refer is going to treat that potential prospect, that potential client, your friends, your family, your connections, the way that you would. And in order to have that confidence, then they ultimately are responsible becoming credible to you and vice versa. So just remember that that's why we do strategy sessions. And so if everyone else out here, if you're watching this on Facebook and you are, you're kind of wondering, what is a strategy session, then one of the things that I'm just going to give a simple tip on that, and then we're going to talk about follow-ups. Think about a strategy session is that opportunity to connect with another business professional. And I always say, in the best case scenario, you're doing it with someone who has the potential to become a strategic alliance with you. And therefore, what you're looking for are people who basically are in the same boat with you and you're rowing in the same direction towards the same target market. And so what you want to do over the next few weeks, over the holidays, is look at the events that you're going to, and instead of just small talking, why don't you ask that person a little bit more about their business? Not necessarily what they do, but who it is that they like to provide their product or service to. I always say, especially if it's someone I'm getting to know or a long-term referral partner, it's always good to do a refresher and just say, tell me a little bit about your target market. Tell me about the challenge that you offer the solution to. Tell me about, a life event or a business life event that triggers the need for someone to pick up the phone to call you, so that when and if I have the opportunity or hear that opportunity, I can potentially bring you up, recommend you, and introduce you. If you don't know that person well, you're at the beginning stages, this is when we use my always get a yes technique. And you basically are going to say this. You're going to say, that's interesting that that's your target market, or if it's an existing one, hey, it's been a while since we've gotten together to talk about your target market. I really want to be able to recommend you or introduce you properly. Is there any way that we can get together and learn more about each other so that when and if I hear those opportunities, I feel confident that I could properly recommend you, and it will allow us to get to know each other a little bit better. Now, I know many of you have heard me share the always get a yes technique, and I say it a little different every time because that's life. You're going to be in different conversations, different networking events, and the always get a yes is going to come out a little differently every time. But here's the essence to the always get a yes. You've identified someone that you'd like to sit down with and you'd like to learn more about them and the opportunity to help each other grow each other's business. Maybe you see it clearer than they do. Who knows? But what you're basically saying is, let's get together because I believe there's an opportunity to explore what each other's target market looks like so that when and if I hear that opportunity, I am more equipped to actually bring you up. Now, you're not making any promises. You're not saying you run into their target market on a daily basis. You're not saying you're going to share your client base with them. What you're doing is inviting them to an exploratory opportunity. And this is what we call a strategy session. And at the very beginning of the phases, we call it an introductory strategy session. And this is where it's more information exchange. It's where you're getting to know each other. It's where you're learning about each other's company. It's where you're learning about each other as professionals. It's also where you begin that process of getting what I call the junk out of the way. You know, what brought you to town? How long have you been doing what you do? Do you have family? Do you have kids? Tell me why you changed jobs. Tell me, it's where we get to know each other. But the problem is most professionals think that that's it. And so I hear people say one and done, they'll go through their networking group or they'll go through their power teams and they'll only do like a meeting here and there. And they kind of check like a checklist, met with everybody at least once, I'm done. And then they sit back and think, why haven't I generated those opportunities for my business? It's because you haven't exchanged relevant information with one another. So I always tell everyone is at the end of a strategy session, you should be planning your next strategy session with one another if you feel like it's somewhere you need to progress through the wanting, willing, and able stages of becoming true referral generators for one another. It takes time. It's not an instant gratification. Let's exchange business cards and bam, I'm just going to put you right in front of my best client. It's not the case. I need to feel confident and you need to become credible. And so that takes time. So that's when we tell everyone to set up an additional strategy session with one another. And now you're moving into the training zone. And that's where your word choice is going to change. The information you take to the meetings are going to change. And there is actually a strategy to conducting training, strategic trainings to exchange the proper information to move those referral generation relationships forward so that referrals can actually be created. So that's the beginning stages of strategy sessions. There is a third level, but I usually refrain from training that without you actually mastering the first two. But just as a hint, it's called a strategic strategy session. Yeah, I'm not that's very original there, but it has its whole different ball game. But if I could encourage all of you today is to make a connection, whether it's a live connection or a virtual, set up a strategy session. The secret to referral marketing is strategy sessions. It is exchanging words in a strategic way that allows people to be a part of your success story. And I truly believe that referral marketing is an incredible way that you can grow your business. Okay, let me share with you guys There's a whole lot of information right there, and I definitely want to take questions. We say this is a live Q&A. So one of the things I want, if you're watching this or even going back on replay, if you've had a roadblock when it comes to referral marketing, maybe it's your own personality style, maybe you're new to town, maybe you don't know what to say, or you've had a bad experience in the past. Or you don't know which networking events are the best ones for you. There's all kind of questions you guys can ask me, and I'm here to answer them. So if you're struggling when it comes to networking or referral marketing, ask your question down below. And of course, I'm trying to watch them. If I see the question stream, like I said, we've got multiple streams going on, so I'm looking at as many of the chat comments as I can. If for some reason I miss your particular question, I will go back and answer it, or we will handle it in next week's Tuesday tips. So go ahead and make sure and put your questions down here. Here's the tips I want to share today. I keep saying three follow-up things that I want to talk about when it comes to referral marketing. The one thing that you want to think about when it comes to generating referrals for your business is, think of the word R. It's about relationships. People hear your trigger words all day long, all the time. I mean, I can promise you right now it's like 10:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right now, and I guarantee that someone has already heard an opportunity for you. They've already heard it. Someone has already seen something on Facebook. Someone has already dropped a trigger word. Someone has seen a life event or knows of a life event or a business event that could potentially refer you. I mean, how many times have you been like, oh my gosh, I wish they had thought of me, or I wish I had seen that post just 10 minutes earlier, or I wish I had known about that event and I would have gone to it. See, here's the deal. You cannot be everything everywhere all the time and still service your client and still do the things that you need to do that you already had planned. You're not going to be in every conversation someone has. You're not going to be on every social media thread. So what you need to do is surround yourself with referral generators, people who want to be a part of your success story. And you need to equip them with what your trigger words actually are. You see, even though I said that people have seen your opportunity and they've heard your trigger word, it doesn't mean that it resonated with them. They may have seen it, but that doesn't mean that they thought of you. Are you sure you are top of mind when your opportunity appears in front of someone else? Are you sure that someone recognizes your opportunity the way that you would? You see, what I have found over the years is most professionals go into opportunities with their glasses on. They go to networking events looking for their opportunities because that's what we're comfortable with. That's what we're trained with. We know our trigger words. We know when someone says this, oh, they need me, right? We know that. We don't want to be going into sales mode. So instead, what I need to do is get people who are willing to learn what my trigger words are. I need to teach them my who. This is my ideal client. When you see someone that has, these attributes, when you see a life event or a business event, or you hear this, see this, think of me. Okay? And when I have trained that and I've instilled that into my referral generators, it's great that they finally recognize. I mean, that's a big piece of it, right? That they recognize those opportunities. But the second part is they must also be equipped with the right words to recommend or introduce me once they recognize. So it's a two-part step. Well, one way that you can stay top of mind even with people that you've already spent time with. Maybe you see them on a weekly basis and you make the assumption that everyone in that room knows how to refer you. Or these are your family members or your friends and everyone out there knows what you do. Surely they could tell people about you. And yet, if you're like me, how many times have you been like, I can't believe they don't know that I do that. I can't believe my family members have used someone else. I don't understand why I'm not getting more referrals. Like, I've heard it. Trust me, I've been training this for almost 20 years. I've heard all different kind of frustrations when it comes to people who think because they're plugged into something, they're automatically going to generate referrals. It's a strategy to do it and to do it well. So one tip that I want to share, if you have an existing referral generation base, you have people who are actively, they're either industry collaborators or they're power partners or they're referral, strategic alliances, make a point to follow up with them and set up a strategy session. Make sure that you're current on how you can help them. Nothing triggers the need for the awareness for someone to refer you is when you refer them first, because there's this thing where you just want to return that favor. So the best way that you can actually grow your business is to reach out to your existing referral generators. Try to set up a strategy session. If not, just ask a simple question. Hey, anything new going on with your business? Can you refresh me real quick? What is a great client for you? Is there anything going on over the next few weeks that you would love for me to listen for on your behalf as I'm out there networking through the holidays? Make sure your referral generators know how much you appreciate them and the relationship that you guys have. They are part of your marketing team, not your sales team, but your marketing team. And so you want to make sure and follow up with them. You also want to keep them up to date on any referrals that they've sent your way. Let them know if it's gone to close business. Let them know if it wasn't a great referral for you and you needed to send it on to someone else. Like, keep the communications open with the people who are actively a part of your success story. So you want to make sure and follow up with them with your referral generators. The second follow-up tip I want you to do is with I've got it here and I wanted to share here. This is in our tip number 8 in our book. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is following up with referral generator prospects. Okay, so those would be the ones that would be at the very beginning of the wanting, willing, and able stages. Maybe you've met them at a networking event over the last few weeks and you said, hey, let's get together. Maybe you used the always get a yes and you said, let's get together. Follow up with that. If in a casual conversation you said you were going to do something, follow up with it. Come back, connect with them on Facebook, LinkedIn. Send them a message letting them know how much you appreciated meeting them. Tell them you look forward to getting to know them better. Go look at their website. Go look at their Facebook page and come back and tell them something that you saw. Be a part of that process. I always say be very proactive when it comes to developing your referral generators. So making that initial follow-up, that initial let's get together or let's connect or hey, you said this and it made me think that there's even another person you need to meet, another referral generator. I can make that introduction for you. So those are some things you want to do with existing referral generators and prospect referral generators. And then the third tip is follow up with the clients that have also become your VIP clients. The clients, remember, our VIP clients are clients that are the service that you love to provide, okay? The ones that are making you money. And third, they are referring you. Okay, so it's that triple threat, right? Check, check, check. Go through your client list and identify who your VIP clients are and make a point, put it in your calendar to follow up with those VIP clients. I know it's the holidays, and I know for some of you, you'll be doing some gifts for some different clients, and that's a wonderful gratitude attitude action. But what I'm asking you to do is to pick up the phone and call your VIP clients. Ask them how you can help them, because sometimes in that process right there, you're able to generate referrals for your other referral generators. Love all my words, referral generators. Those people who are part of your success story, you can actually potentially help them grow their business, but it is a client retention step because you are taking care of your clients. But you also, the ones that are referring you, you want to be able to open up that conversation and let them know that how a referral went. You also want to let them know if there's anything new going on with the company, not for them to buy, but for them to recommend your product or services. They're already your biggest fans. They're already your biggest fans. So take advantage of the simple follow-up. It can be a click to an invite on Facebook, to a phone call, to a drop by a client's office just to say hi. Remember, making that contact, connecting with one another is crucial when it comes to referral marketing. So you guys, I hope if you're watching this back on replay, share with us, besides some of your challenges and your roadblocks, share with us some ways that you have followed up with either an existing referral generator, a prospective referral generator, and a client referral generator. Let's share our strategies with one another so that all of us can benefit and be able to continue to grow our business forward. We're right here at the very end. Thank you guys for joining me today on the TTT with Amy D. Is what I said is the Tuesday tips at 10 o'clock. I appreciate each and every one of you, and remember to go out this week and inspire others.